I mean, what's so special about nachos, right? Except for when you load it up with a ton of shredded mozzarella, an asiago cheese sauce, a bunch of delicious toppings, and of course, name it after your college roommate. This is the best nachos recipe you're ever going to eat. The official name of this recipe is no doubt nachos al Petey Sanchez. Petey, which is what these nachos are named after, is the nickname I gave to my roommate, and his last name was Peterson, Petey for short. Got it? The no doubt part comes from my other roommate, Justin, and every time his team was playing on TV and they did a great play or scored a touchdown or whatever, he would just go, woo, no doubt, as if it was expected. It used to drive us crazy. The Sanchez part was this late night spot we used to hit on the way home after the bars, after the clubs. And of course, the nachos are actually a recipe from a local restaurant there where I went to college, and they had some really good nachos. This is my take on them. Sorry, they're way better. With that being said, we need to start making our cheese sauce. Sound good? Let's cook. It all begins with making a roux, which is equal parts by weight flour and butter. Another simple solution to this is 2-to-1 flour to butter. Do not use equal parts in volume. It will not work. This is what's going to be used to thicken everything up. So go ahead and head over to your cooktop, and in a medium to large size saute pan, we're simply going to add in the butter to the pan. Be sure to hit it only over low heat. We're not trying to burn the butter, make brown butter. We just want it to melt. Once it has melted, go ahead and sprinkle in your flour all over the butter, and then using a whisk, we're going to start to combine it until it is mixed in. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. It will become very fragrant, almost like a toasted nut smell. It's delicious. So go ahead and remove it, set it to the side, and now for our sauce. In a medium sauce pot, we're going to add in some whole milk. And what we want to do is bring this to a scald. Sometimes this can be hard to know what point that's at. So what I like to do is tilt the pot when over low to medium heat. See all those bubbles that are forming? Boom, perfect timing. Now whisk in our roux until it is combined in. And when cooking with a roux, it usually takes in between 10 and 15 minutes for the roux to completely cook out. Also, you'll know when the sauce is at nat bay. Simply coat it with a spoon, run your finger through it. The sauce doesn't run through that little spot where your finger ran through. We know we're in good shape. So go ahead and give the sauce a stir. And then in the meantime, when it finishes cooking, we are going to start grating up some asiago cheese. This is a fantastic medium hard cheese, going to add a lot of great flavor to this recipe and a little bit of salt. So that's why we're not going to season it until the end. Go back over to your sauce on the cooktop, add in the shredded asiago cheese, and then of course whisk it until it is completely combined. It should be nice and thick, and it's absolutely delicious. So at this point, season it up with some sea salt, and then next some fresh cracked black pepper. You know, when it comes to seasoning, you taste twice, season once. Taste it, season it, taste it again, see if it needs a little bit more. Do not ignore this feature. Now set your sauce to the side. And Comies, this is what I always try to tell you. Once you start understanding the fundamental basics of cookery, like making a roux, which is used to thicken this bechamel sauce, or any soup, you can start making anything from homemade, from scratch. It just tastes better. It's gonna blow the doors off anything you're gonna get at a restaurant or, of course, at the store. Now what we need to do is get cranking on our chicken. So I've got 2 9-ounce chicken breasts, and we're gonna start by seasoning them off with sea salt and then, of course, fresh cracked black pepper. Remember, season high when doing this to cover every little square centimeter of the chicken so every bite is delicious. Head over to your cooktop and we're going to pan sear. So add some oil to a large pan, crank the heat on to high, and once it begins to lightly start smoking, we're going to add in our chicken breast. Be sure not to crowd the saute pan, and then immediately turn the heat down to medium. Let's have a look after a few minutes, and yeah, that looks pretty awesome. Yeah, we're good. Perfectly golden brown. So at this point, there are a couple different options. You can follow my perfectly cooked chicken breasts, throw them in the oven, 350 degrees for 8 to 12 minutes until they're cooked, or you can simply leave them on the cooktop, turn the heat down to low, and let them cook for maybe another 10 to 12 minutes. We're gonna flip them every 5 minutes. So this is great timing because we can actually start prepping up the vegetables that's going on top. I'm going to be slicing up some Roma tomatoes. While they're not in season, Romas are usually decent at this time of year. So go ahead and medium dice those up and then just simply set them to the side in a bowl. We're going to need about 1 cup. Next, we're going to thinly slice up some green onions. And as soon as these are done, the 5 minutes is up. Let's go back to the chicken, take a look, give it a little flip, perfectly golden brown still, even getting browner, which is better. We're going to cook it for another 5 minutes. Head back over to our cutting board. We're going to finish slicing up some black olives. Look, if you want to save some time, go ahead and buy them pre-sliced. Doesn't much matter to me. Next, some kalamata olives. Do make sure these are pitted, and if you can find them sliced, fantastic. If not, it's very easy to slice up. Set them to the side. Go back over to the chicken. It looks perfect, and give it a little press, nice and firm. We know we're finished. Now go over to your cutting board because we need to large dice this up. So set it to the side on the cutting board, and then what I like to do is hold it widthwise and then slice down the center, just so we're not getting huge chunks of chicken when we're trying to eat them on top of our nachos. And then cut them into thick strips and then simply turn them and cut them into larger chunks. Look, if you want to save some time, go get a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store and cut it up. Boom, you're done. Head over to your cheese grater. I've got some whole milk mozzarella that we're going to shred up. Yes, more cheese makes for better nachos, my friends. So go ahead and set them to the side and get a sheet tray lined with parchment paper full of nice thick chips. Do not make them thin or else they're going to break every time you try to eat it. We're going to top off with that delicious asiago cheese sauce. Be sure to evenly coat it as much as you can on top of the nachos, and then grab up that large diced chicken and sprinkle it all over the top. And then we're finally going to finish up with adding on our shredded mozzarella cheese. This is just going to give it that nice little crispness that you love in nachos. We're heading over to the broiler. It's on high. It's probably going to take in between 5 and 7 minutes. If it gets a little bit extra golden brown, perfect. While these are in the oven, let me just say, you can add additional toppings too. Don't just stop there. If you want even different types of olives, maybe even artichokes or spinach or whatever, be sure to make this recipe customizable for exactly how you want it. Now, let's take a look at the nachos. Yeah, these look absolutely ridiculous, you guys. Now let's cut over to super slow-mo to plate up. Hit it with those medium diced tomatoes all over the top, followed up with adding on our sliced black olives. Use them all up, you guys. Just makes the nachos that much better. Next, the sliced kalamata olives. And for a little bonus, I've got some sliced banana peppers. If you have sliced pepperoncinis, those will be awesome too. We're going to finish it with those sliced green onions, and boom, check out this beauty. Holy smokes, is this so good. I promise you it's going to be the best nachos recipe you will ever eat. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out this video because you know it's going to be so bomb, and I'll see you on that recipe.